Well, guys, I'm back at the boat, and we got a mess big time. We're doing all kinds of things. We're doing wiring. We elevated the batteries, check the fluids, reconnect new cables. Got a new wire to connect to the new alternator to the batteries, and we're gonna drill in that corner there. We're gonna drill a through hole to drain water from the deck, so it drains a little bit easier. And let me go outside. And of course, the mechanic didn't have the cup cutter, so we're gonna drill a hole on the side right behind one of those. And just a bunch of miscellaneous. And let me show you my my new anchor. I went and got a rod. Right now it's a little flimsy because I still gotta put a base here with a cleat, so attach it to it and attach it to the front. This is the anchor that you can pull if it's stuck on a rock. You pull hard enough, you break those zip ties off. You snap those off, and then the anchor will be pulled from this point, and the anchor will do this and just disconnect. So the other anchor it's a what is it, a Hawthorne, or it's got a different name. I went and got a bag, and I'm going to store it in the engine compartment. There it is right there. And we can keep that as a second spare anchor in case I need to throw, if it's really windy and the boat is kind of swinging too much, I can throw it on the aft of the boat and pull it in and tighten it down. Okay, you got it? Well, hope you got the right one. Okay. All right, let me let you go. We're gonna get back to work later. Organizing and doing a lot of miscellaneous. I mean, a lot of miscellaneous. Getting the boat ready for fishing. I've got a lot of people who want to go. Having a little drink. And I got one of the engines running. The other one, we're installing a electric fuel pump, so it's not ready to start. I'm just doing a lot of odds and ends. And I still got the old one here because this one is going to be a spare. So I put it back in its sleeve. It locks in there pretty good. And then I put a little zip tie there at the end so it's not moving. And I'm also going to install some lights, underwater lights. And I came up with an idea how to connect the underwater lights to the trim tabs. So let me close this up a minute. Hang on. This engine is getting painted. The other one needs to get painted. Put this in the tools. Sorry that I'm all banging around. So I went and bought this wire, electrical wire, and I bought this clamshell to attach the transom and a run. I'm going to put the wires through there, And I was kind of like working in my mind. I'll bring this TV down. The idea of how do I install underwater lights with the boat in the water. Is everybody? Let me close this up. Okay, it's a little quieter. Everybody is showing how to install the light with the boat on a trailer. But the thing is, it costs a lot of money to pull a boat out of the water. For people that have boats, they know. So I was looking at the pictures that I always take pictures of everything. When I took it out, before I bought it, and after I bought it, and you know, and all the changes and the repairs and the painting, and I have a record of everything. And I noticed that the trim tabs, which they're very large, they're, jeez, there must be 30 inches. Those things are huge. Let me see. Take my measuring tape. So 24 inches. No, they're longer than that. Easy. I think they're 30 or 32. Pretty big. And it has a upper lip at the end, which the upper lip, it's about, I'm figuring between 1 3/4 to 2. Easy. It might be even 2 1/4. So I said, well, how are you gonna drill underwater on stainless, which is very, very hard to do? And I said, no, it's impossible. There's no way to drill with an electric drill, with a battery drill, or anything that's electric. And I said, well, maybe I can bring my air compressor, air hose, and with my ratchet, maybe I can do a MacGyver, but now that's very slow. It's not going to be speedy enough, and it's going to take forever, and it's going to be almost impossible. I would say it's impossible to do. Definitely it's impossible to do. So I came up with this MacGyver. I want to make, out of stainless steel, I want to make a V, upside down V. And the light is 4 inches. They're the cheap ones. Underwater light, they're blue, they're really pretty. 4 inches. And I already did a test with aluminum, with an aluminum piece. And I'm gonna use the where I put them. I'm going to use stainless steel screws from the sinks, and I'm going to drill and tap this V that's going to go over that lip. I'm going to spread it. I'm going to spread it with 5200. See, let me give you an idea with this thing. Let me set up the camera here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And maybe somebody that has a boat in the water says, hey, that's what I need. Okay, so the tab has about that much high. And I said, okay, I'm gonna fold a piece of stainless. I'm gonna smear it with 5200. Now I understand that you cannot have any gaps because it'll start creating electrolysis, but I don't know if you have stainless against stainless, that's going to be the case. But the guy told me that you have to put an even coat of 5200, generous amounts. So I'm going to do that. And this what the light is already attached. The V is going to come in like this. It's going to go over. Okay, this is the lip. This is the V. It's going to go over it like this. And I'm going to put clamps. These adjustable clamps under the water. I want to get a diver to do that, and hold it like this and keep it there for maybe 3 days, 4 days, I don't care. Then the electrical will be done, run it through into the transom, bring it up to the switch. I already have a switch for the big tank, really blue color also. So this is one way of doing it without having to drill. Now, people are gonna say, well, the 5200, there's no 100% that's gonna stay. So I came up with another MacGyver, another idea. I'm gonna drill a hole on the opposite side, and let's say that the V is gonna end up open like this. How do I create pressure to keep it tight? I'm gonna put a stainless steel screw here that it has a big head, it has an Allen key, and it's gonna run through it, and that's gonna push against the plate, making this tight against it. Tighten it up and leave it like that, and that's gonna be the way to hold it. Because I was looking at the pictures and I was thinking, well, maybe I can get a Yankee. I don't know if they make those anymore. A Yankee is a screwdriver with a shaft that is cut, diamond cut, like, and when you push it, it'll turn. So you go ruk, ruk, ruk. I saw that in New York back in the day, in the 60s. They called it a Yankee screwdriver. I don't know if they make that anymore, because there's no way to get a drill. And I said, okay, well, maybe I can get onto the sweeping platform, but then the sweeping platform is a good, let me see. It's a good 20 inches. There's no way I can lay down on it, which is impossible because the tank is gonna be behind me and I'm gonna have to reach underneath and screw this thing into the transom to put it on the transom below the water line. And to get it below the water line, I will have to put weight in the front, which is another problem because I already put some gas in the back, so it's heavy in the rear. But if the tanks were empty, I could put a tank, 30 gallon, 40 gallon, whatever, and fill it up with water and bring all the tools and everything that's heavy in the front, and the boat would lift slightly to bring the water line above the water, and then I can go ahead and drill the screw in there with a Yankee, because you can't do it with any. And it's the platform is like this, and there's no way, there's a gap like this between the transom and the platform to put your hand in there and do anything. You can't do it through there, and I'm not going to remove the whole thing to do that. It's a pain in the ass. So this is the best solution I came up with. Do a V, slip it over the lip, tighten it, and we're done in 5200. And the 5200 is supposed to dry underwater. I saw some reviews. Everybody says that, yeah, you can use it underwater, yada yada. I said, okay, so I'm gonna be doing that. And then when we go fishing, I know it's for show, doesn't need it for fishing, but I'm gonna try to see if the squid comes up to the light. Now, because they do, but I don't know if they do come up to the blue light. That's another thing. So now, another project that I was gonna do was install these 100-watt LED lights that they're bright as hell, but they're not, it's a floodlight. They're not distance. And if I'm gonna be navigating at night to go to San Clemente, leave here around 11, because it's gonna be at least 4 or 5, easy 5-hour drive, easy, doing 14 to 15 knots, and I'm gonna have to go slower because, you know, at nighttime, it's gonna take 6 hours at least. Some people take longer because they're doing 12 knots. These lights are gonna be sufficient. So I went and bought, I just bought it yesterday. I bought a spotlight with a remote control that it gives you a little bit of flood and beam, and the beam is pretty bright. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna put it on the lip of the, it has a little brim right above the cabin below the fly bridge, and I'm gonna try that, connect it there, and then put a switch up in the tower and the fly bridge. Another thing I could do with these lights I could use them as additional lighting and put one on each side of the flybridge. But I'm gonna look like a UFO with all these lights on. But I can put one on each side of the flybridge and it illuminates the whole front. Another thing I can do with these lights, I can set up some sort of a swing out bar to shine this light down in the water, and the squid will come up. I guarantee you, the squid will come up, and you can scoop them up right there. That's an option that I'm thinking about, and it's going to be a removable. I'm going to have to install a lighter plug for power. This is 12 volts, and I can do some sort of a PVC piece that I can just put in one of the rod holders, swing the light over the side, shine it down, and get it, get that working. I don't know. I don't want to start converting the boat into a complete commercial fishing machine, which is not. But I want to be equipped for any occasion. So everything's good. The engines are running fine. Right now it's in gear. I put it in forward. It's tied down. He told me put it in gear, reverse, and then forward. About 1,000 RPM or so, and make sure that everything is flowing and is running good. Nothing is clanking or anything. So every time I start the engine, I do that. So we're still good. We're good. Now I gotta tidy up. There's a lot of stuff here that I don't need. I'm gonna take back. This is the electric pump. It's gonna go this way. I already installed the bracket, which I had to do some sort of an angle cut, and I installed it a couple of days ago. And then the guy that's doing the painting, I told him, don't paint this. I don't want this painted. So he's gonna install it after it's painted. And this is a Marine Carter fuel pump. So it goes this way, in and out. All right. And see, I feel the boat is pushing. It's rocking. The props are turning. So everything's coming along, and hopefully it'll be ready for the fishing season. I got another call from another friend of a friend that he says he's not a fishing fanatic, but he likes to fish. So we talked a little bit, and then at the end he says, I do anything for fish. And I said, so you are a fishing fanatic. He says, I do anything for fishing, to go fishing. We go, okay, so you are a fishing fanatic. So he's dying to come along. He's a little younger than me, but he sounded like a cool guy. And that's what I do. I take out friends of friends, people that enjoy fishing. Because, the boat, I don't want the boat just sitting and me spending money on repairing and doing. And, I'm always buying stuff like this thing here. I bought a new bilge pump, and this bilge pump has a high and a low setting, and it says back here the high is 2 inches and the low is 1.3. so when you have this sitting on the bottom, 2 inches from the bottom of water, it'll suck it out. And if it's 1 3/4, 1 1/3 or 1.3, it's like 1 1/4 or so. It'll keep the bilge dry and less humidity, which causes problems with electrical. I gotta get this installed, and then I got another rule float that I have to get that installed. So I'm always buying stuff that I need to have the boat in perfect running condition. I don't want to have any issues like I've had before. I don't want to have any issues out there. I want the boat to start when I want it to start, to run when I want it to run, and I didn't know I had this gauge here. Okay, I think I'm gonna take this home. I don't need this. So yeah, everything's looking good. I also got this new stereo that has been sitting here for a year. all I have to do is take out the old and replace with this one, and just basically the plugs are more or less the same. But this is a better radio. I wasn't getting a lot of signals, and I went and got an antenna, and the guy told me, look, you got a $60 radio, what do you expect? So I went and bought a better one. And I gotta install that. So every time I come, I got things to do. I'm always busy. Let me go up there, hang on. Okay, so let's close this down. Okay, so I also installed these lights. You turn on the key and it turns on. Okay, that's enough. And I have those little ones that shows me that it's when a charger kicks in, it blinks. I gotta connect those. Also, I did a MacGyver. I put a magnet over here. It doesn't stay flat. It's just hanging on the magnet because there's no way to me to, it's cloth. There's no way to me to keep this, you know, but at least it's there. So I can have some night vision lights, which is all red and stuff. So, okay. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay guys, I'm at the house in the garage, freezing my butt off because it's very cold. The thermometer says 49, but it feels like 40. And we're supposed to get a blizzard today at night. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen here, but we're in the foothills. It might happen. I don't know. Anyways, the idea about installing the color underwater lights, these are the cheap ones. I forgot what I paid. I've had this in the boat for, I don't know, a couple of years. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to figure out how to do it. So I came up with this idea to attach it to the trim tab lip. It's got a lip up about that thick. So this is 1 3/4. 1 3/4. I think it's about 1 3/4, maybe 2. So the idea is that I got a piece like this, and you see the line. I have to fold this one, and I still gotta get the sharp edge out of this one here on my grinder there, and then install the light. So I folded it already on this piece, and install the light. And put 5200 inside here, and imagine that this is the trim tab lip, and you come over and you slip it. You slip under it, over it, I mean. Bring back the screw. Now I found out that I was planning on drilling a hole back here and putting this type of screw in here to create pull pressure against the plate. This is the trim tab. It will go like that, and make sure that the glue it's adhering to the trim tab. I'm gonna have the diver get one of the scrubby that they have and scrape it really good because it's painted. I don't know, it shouldn't have been painted, but anyways. And then the glue grab. But then I just found out by coincidence that the screws that are holding the light to the folding plate also can be used as a tightening against the trim tab. So I'm going to show you right now. It's loose, right? Okay. So besides the glue, I put a lock washer on this side, and these are the screws you take off the sinks, that the diver just removed some sinks. And I always got a habit of keeping the stainless steels, because stainless steels are expensive. Stainless steel screws are expensive. So now this is tight against it. Okay. The plastic has a little threading that by coincidence, these screws are a little bigger than the hole. So it made a little thread to it and it's grabbing, and check it out. And that's going to be enough to hold it in place. I don't need to do the screw back here and attach that, because between the screws tightening and the 5200 that's going to be in there, because I'm going to put a couple of beads. Once we slip it over the trim tab, it's going to smear, it's going to get everywhere, and when it dries, I'm going to keep it under there for 3-4 days with clamps. And this is the idea. Well, I use this, my little tapping key doesn't, this is too small, it doesn't work in this, so I had to do it this way. And I did enough threading that it can attach the screw to the stainless. So once it's in there, I'm going to have the diver put this on and crimp it, tighten it to make sure that the plate, I could flatten the plate out a little bit more. Right now it's got the screw, but the thing is, I'm not sure. This is a heavier gauge than this one here. This is just miscellaneous pieces that I had. I don't know how thick. It might be this thick. This is pretty thick gauge. It might be that thick. So between the screw and the glue, the 5200, I think it will be enough to do the job. If I want the plate to be flatter, then I will have to unscrew this here and flatten it out more with the clamps, but I have to remove the light so I can use it on my vise. The issue is that if I do that, then I won't have enough room to put my 5200 in there. And I'm thinking of doing it with a little plastic knife, filling it in there, put a lot of it. And then once it's pretty full, I'll give it to the diver. He'll slip it on, tighten these 2 screws, and we're good to go. I don't know if I need to tighten the plate any more than what it is. Now you're going to say, oh, when you're running and you're speeding, the light's going to come off. And I said, well, no, because it's going to be over, it's going to attach like that. And the water, the trim tab is like this. So the water is going to be running through the bottom here, right? It's going to be running through there. So there's no contact of water when you're going fast. Nothing is going to be touching this. So I think I found the solution to the issue of how to attach underwater lights on a boat that's on the water, in the water. So if you like this idea, let me know. If you want to try it, because a lot of people have some boats on the water. See, I just tighten out the ends here, but if you have a boat on the water, not a yacht, because this light is kind of for medium-sized boats, small boats. You're going to want to use the bigger lights, which are a lot more money. I don't remember what I paid for this, but if it was expensive, I probably didn't buy it. I wouldn't have bought it. So that's going to be tight like that, and it basically is going to be touching. And that's the idea. I want that glue to hang on. So I'm going to get the tube and it's like a toothpaste. And you pour it in there, you push it in there, and you use the little plastic knife and drive it in. and then you tighten up the screws, and I think that's good to go. That is good to go. There's no way that this is going to come off. And if it does, it's so light that it's going to be dangling in the back. And then I can just pull them up and zip tie them to the hose on the tank until I can come back to the dock and then do my repair. I also did a little notch here for the cable to fit, and I used the brush here on the grinder and really got the edge off. So that's gonna work, man. That is gonna work nice. I don't have a way to give it power here. It's 12 bolts. All right, so I want to show you that in case you think it's a good idea and you want to use it. You got my permission. I'm not gonna, you know what? I think I should patent this. I think I should patent this. All right, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Later.